Yeah, it did work. This is a cool thing. The door is broken on the 8th floor where I'm living, where my hostel is, and I had to go to 7th floor. What do you think about these things? No door here on the inside, and it looks like there wasn't meant to be one even. There's no space for it. So cool. Real life experience. Well, what just happened there? I almost broke it. Okay, friends, guess what I'm doing today? I am now leaving my hostel in Cairo, pretty much center of the Cairo. Well, I should say without any pretty much. It is exactly center. Walking distance from the Ramses train station. So can't be any better than that. And I am now thinking to go to some interesting place. Well, the place isn't very special, I guess, in any regard for itself, but what I want is to go to a place which would be more outside of the capital, more rural, little bit different in that regard. So basically, my idea is that I'm going to the train station. I checked yesterday what's happening there. Didn't get very much, very clear idea, but a rough idea, so should be okay. So I am going to train station and I'm trying to get a train ticket for some train who goes to Wasta. On the map it says Wasita, but they said it Wasta, so I guess that's how they pronounce it. And from there I might get to, let's see, maybe Beni, what was the name of it? Beni Suez? Nah, something else. Beni something. I forgot already. So basically I'll have to check that, and maybe I can get there as well and get two places in the same day. And at the evening I'm coming back to Cairo. So friends, you can join me if you like. If you would like to see something of the countryside of Nile Valley, Egypt outside of Cairo. What do you think? Would that be a good idea? Let's go then. That's some good amount of traffic on two levels. There is street below and there is street above, and they both go in the same direction. But I understand that the one below is for those who are turning on and off on the street, and the one above is kind of highway stuff. They just go ahead. They have no way to get off that lane. That's for those who want to get across the center. Basically, for those who are for longer distances, as far as I understand. And also, one other funny thing just occurred to me. Here is maybe not the best example, but still, if you see how people are dressed, they have pretty much like winter clothing for them, which is winter clothing, autumn clothing, which we would call it Europeans probably, and that's how they feel it's adequate, because it's end of December, a couple days after Christmas already. Look how they are dressed. And guess how I am dressed. Look. I feel a little bit like a misfit in this society. But I don't feel like I need anything more than a t-shirt when it's 20 degrees and sunshine. But probably I'm the only one here who thinks like that. I need to cross it now. I'm still learning how to cross the street, and I'm still happy if I can find somebody who can help me out in terms of, if I see a local crossing, I just follow that person, like hiding behind that person. But let's do it on my own now. You see? You just have to watch, but it works. And it's quite amazing actually. I discovered that these drivers are actually quite sensible, to say the least. Like, the first impression for a European like me is that it's a complete chaos, complete mess. There are no traffic lights in most places, and even where they are, half of them is not working or something of that sort. At least I couldn't figure out how to use them. And everybody is driving in all kinds of directions at the same time, and there are no zebras, and even if they are, nobody is paying any attention on them. And yeah, it feels like first impression was, oh, that's a complete chaos. They must be killing each other every day, and how to survive. But I must say, to their credit, they are quite sensible drivers. Like, they don't have rules. Well, they drive like they wouldn't have, I should say. But they're very sensible in terms of looking around, being aware what's happening, being aware what's behind you, what's in front of you, what's on the sides. They change lanes. Well, basically they don't have lanes in their minds even. They just go where is space. But they're very aware what's around you. And when you are somewhere crossing, they will slow down and they will let you pass. And they will not be angry because of that, because they know that that's the only way. For example, here, I have to pass, and yeah, you see, they slow down. Even though I'm passing in such a place where in Europe I would be killed if I tried to do this, because nobody would tolerate me doing such a stupid thing. Here, they know that there's no other possibility. How can you pass? Like, where can you pass? That's no other place. You have to pass here if you want to get across the street. And they know it, and they respect it, and they just give way to each other, and they just see what's sensible in that situation. They're very aware of their surroundings, even if they are text messaging at the same time. They still see you, and they still think about everybody around. So yes, I am quite impressed about that. At least that's my first impression after how many? 4 days? Probably 4 days in Cairo. So yes, guys, if you think that they are all crazy and you'll get killed, think again. It's not so bad. It's not so bad at all, to my surprise. I got stuck between the tasty things. These guys are amazingly friendly. I just went in there and got a falafel with egg. Here, this thing, the sandwich. And it's not a small thing. And guess how much it cost me? 20 cents in euros. 3.5 Egyptian pounds, 20 cents. Crazy. And freshly made. And yeah, I already ate some veggies from there. So I couldn't show you all the things. But yeah, they're very friendly and very helpful. Everybody's smiling and welcome, and they look like they are honestly happy for you to come in their place and come to visit Egypt and so on. And even if they don't speak English, they can say some words. For example, that guy which I just showed you, who gave me the falafel, he said, do you speak Arabic? And I said few things in Arabic which I knew, and he was so happy about it that I could speak a few words in Arabic. And I wanted to learn more Arabic, and I was asking in English how to say this in Arabic or how to say that. And he said, no English, no English. So he doesn't speak English, but he maintains a friendly chat and attitude towards us tourists. I almost get run over by this, and that was my fault, because I wasn't situationally aware. They were. But yeah, this is the thing which you have to learn here. Watch around, look around, keep your eyes open. Don't look at your phone when you're walking on the street. And that's a good lesson probably for all of us Westerners to learn as well. So guys, I'm almost at the train station. You see that building, you remember that from the other day, from the other video. And let me finish my falafel. And let me figure out how do we go about buying tickets here. Could be a bit tricky, we'll see. So there is some ticket offices inside of the building. As you see, it's written air-conditioned ticket. So air-conditioned is a big thing here. Even the trains, the biggest difference in prices as far as I understand is whether the train has air conditioning or not. So these are the joys of visiting Egypt in winter. No need for air conditioning, it's 20 degrees, it's pleasant. For them it feels cold probably because they have all the scarves and winter jackets. For me it's t-shirt and pleasant weather sunshine. This is what summer feels like in Ireland. Even if you can get the sunshine in summer in Ireland. Yeah, and here are some ticket offices without air conditioning, so who cares? Let me see, I have no clue which one I have to use. They have different names written, and probably I need to know which is the right one. Marhaba, do you speak English? Sorry? There, shukran. He said the other colleague will speak English probably, it will be easier. I wonder what are these things for? With some buttons, with some Arabic numbers. It wasn't actually that difficult. You see what I got? Nice. It's not as soon as I expected, but it's good enough. 12 o'clock. And a policeman was looking at me while I was filming, and I thought, is it a problem or not? But he passed away. Passed away? Is it correct way to say? I didn't mean he died. He just went away. So yeah, it was quite funny because I was thinking that these ticket offices are, each office is for different directions, like it was in the inside offices, but whether I was just lucky or whether and got the right one, or whether it's possible to do it on any office. So in any case, I was asking the first cashier if they speak English. He said no and pointed me to his colleague. Then I waited in a line for the colleague, and the colleague, when I asked does she speak English, she was and I said shweya, a little bit, and she said yeah, shweya a little bit English, shweya Inglesi. So I was shweya Arabi and she was shweya Inglesi. But we kind of understood each other. We write on the papers, the numbers we had to write on the paper, and also I learned one more word in Arabic, arrakhs, I think I remember it correctly, which means cheapest. Because I wanted cheapest ticket, because the ticket prices can be hugely different depending on what you choose, and they have even foreigner trains and that kind of stuff. So I don't know how that works. Maybe this is for a foreigner train, I hope not. I want to ride with locals. We'll find out and we'll see. But in any case, 12 o'clock is our train. One. Is it here? There. Is it here? Okay. شكرا. I'm showing the ticket and asking, is it here? Okay. شكرا.
Number 8.
Number 8. Shukran jazilan. Okay. Wow, it's quite beautiful. Wow, it's something. I wonder if you see. Jamil, beautiful. One other man was taking pictures and nothing happened to him. So does it mean that it's okay? Let's go for it. Now I'm filming not in my stealth mode. I see myself what I am filming. Yeah, it's quite impressive and good looking. And I have number 8. The man said platform number 8. But I have plenty of time. I think I will explore around as well. And they let me through the metal detector with all my gear on my belt, and it was no problem. They didn't care about it. So I have noticed that there is quite a difference between what's written and what's going on in life. Like it's written that we have all kinds of restrictions, but in real life, like you see, nobody uses face masks, nobody cares about the metal detectors and so on. And here is some cafe on the, what is it, second or first or whatever, upper floor. And here you can see few of the trains, the short platforms. The platforms which goes eastern direction to east. But I'll have the other platforms which goes to the west. Yeah, beautiful. Ramses train station. The famous pharaoh. It looks like there is no place, like no waiting hall. Maybe there will be something near platforms. Let's walk there. These things are being installed but not yet in place. Let's see what happens here. Maybe here I can find some nice place where I can wait. So this is how platform in Cairo Ramses station looks. Ah, and you see guys are just crossing. And they're not the only ones who do it. That's some crazy stuff. I wonder where is the legal place to cross the tracks. Is there some... there is some overpass. That should be it probably. Or no, there are some tunnels at the end. They are quite far, so people just cross the streets. No streets, tracks. Quite cool. We just saw an aggressive man who was saying something to somebody else, and I just thought it may look like to you or to me, it may look like it's a dangerous place with aggressive people who are shouting, but did you notice when he was shouting on that other man? What happened? Everybody else around was looking at him as if something completely crazy is happening, something not good, unusual. Well, this is loud, I don't know. Can you hear me? And this tells me that 100 people who are not aggressive and they look surprised on that one who is yelling, it means that this yelling is not often happening and everybody else is not like him. So, good sign, not bad sign. What do you think? It is actually useful to learn Arabic numbers, how they write them, because you don't see here Arabic numbers in English script. What do you call them, which we use? I am actually quite happy to see that the railways here in Egypt, in Cairo at least, are quite developed. Like I have read and heard about Africa in general, that its railways are almost non-existent, and the few legacy railway lines left from colonial times are virtually unmaintained and not used very much. So it was kind of a sad thing for me, because I like trains, I like traveling with trains. And here they have quite a big station with many trains, many options for the trains. You have different prices for the trains. You have sleeper trains even, like to Luxor or Aswan. You can travel with a sleeper train as well. And people seem to be using those trains. There are a lot of people in here. So that's quite nice. I like it. It's not so bad here in Africa, at least in Egypt. And this one is leaving. To Aswan. No, it's something else. They didn't let the guy in. Will he try another place to get in while the train is still slow? Another day I saw few guys trying to run and catch the train when it was already quite fast. You can kind of try to jump in. Yeah, and the train is long. It is actually useful to learn how to read Arabic numbers. So that is 10 to 9. And 1 and 9 are the two numbers who look similar to English, to our numbers. But for example, there is number which looks like 7, which is not 7, and looks like 3, which is not 3. So you have to learn them. I wonder where is platform 8? 10 and 9 and 11 is there. So should this be 8? I was here already. Yes, this seems to be 8, and even you see in English you can see platform 8. I was already deciding that I live in the floor number 8 in hostel, and I have platform number 8, so I should better learn how to say 8 in Arabic. And I did it. It is ثمانية. ثمانية is 8. I have to remember myself it now. Is there a place in Sunshine? Further there it will be. I'll go there because I have 1.5 hours, maybe 1 hour, something like that to wait. And I have things to do, so I just want to find a good place where to stay. And this is platform 8, and this should be the right one, at least according to that guy who told me it. Yeah, 11 platforms in the railway station, and you see people are flocking here. You couldn't complain about lack of people here. And trains are coming and leaving. I'm impressed. In a very, very good way. Amazing. And these guys, it's amazing. You can just cross the tracks like this, and everybody seems to be alive and well. Try doing this in Europe. And it seems to be working nicely here, without issues. Cool, I like it. Trains coming and going. In 5 minutes time my train should arrive here, but you see even the railway workers are still doing their stuff on here. I wonder, yeah, probably they will just get out of the way when the train comes. We'll see. No, it was just announced that it will be platform 11, not 8. So obviously these guys didn't make it on time. And everybody now is rushing to the other platform. And thankfully I was asking one man to double check if this is the right place to wait for this train. He didn't speak any English almost, but I was showing him my ticket and he was checking what's on the ticket and he said yes, it's here. So when the announcement came, the same man came to me and said that it's 11 now. So we'll be going to 11. So here we are. This should be 11 and we're waiting. One train is coming and the tableau says it's platform 11, but it doesn't say anything else. And I know that the train number is 982. I wonder if I will see it. I just asked one more person on the pavement, on the platform, and he said yes, it should be right. So hopefully this will be right. I'll probably try to get another confirmation and then I'll be happy. I have coach number 6, seat 49. So where is number 6? I wonder where are the numbers in the coaches. I don't see them. How was 6 in Arabic? Sitta? Sitta, I think. I must be ready to ask for Sitta. He said Saba, and 7, that must be if that was 7, then 6 must be alongside him on either side. And I wonder which one is it. Even I know how it looks in Arabic script. The number which looks like 7, for us it's 6 in Arabic. And
دي 7 دي؟
I think he said Saba, which is 7. Let's go for the next one and see if that will be Sitta, 6. Afwan, Sitta? Sitta. And the train is correct? شكرا شكرا. Okay, one more confirmation.
مشوا يا جدعان، مشوا يا رجالة، مشوا.
Yeah, I wonder how they know which is which. Because I don't see it written anywhere. And they're just asking each other which is which. And I wonder how they know it. Or they just count from the head of the train, maybe. Unless the train changes direction and then it's opposite, other way around. It is full. I can see it already, you can't probably. It is full.
ده بتاع 12 وربع ل 12.
There are numbers in the seats, that's nice. I need 49.
مقعد 7 فين
شفتهم مركع انا ورا هو اللي عنده
انزل بالصوت ده مش مشكله.
$49. That's nice. I even have a window seat. Isn't that nice? The seats are not very wide, but nice. And this is second class, so I shouldn't complain. Cool. No, all good, all good. Somebody is selling something.
اوجه يمين شمال تحت فوق زي ما حضرتك عايز، ويمسك كمان يا باشا على حديد، ويمسك كمان يا باشا على ازاز، ويمسك يا فندم على السيراميك في البيت، ويمسك على حيطه مدهونه زيت، يعني اي حاجه ناعمه يمسك عليها ويشيل تليفونك بعيد عن ايدك. طب انا يا باشا شغال بجراف تليفونك.
He's giving everybody to touch it and feel it. How good is it?
جرب بنفسك يا باشا، تليفونك التاتش عليه يشيل يا باشا اتقل تليفون تاتش. اتفرج يا فندم على فيلم، اتفرج على ماتش، اتفرج على اي مقطع على رافع.
Ramses Station. Cool. I like it. There is something good about trains, and especially in less organized countries, because it is the most easiest public transport to understand, because you can see railways on the map, and when you see that on map, you know that it definitely will go there. You don't know about buses. You can't figure out where it goes, especially when there are no writings. They're just shouting out things, and it's changing all the time, and it's unpredictable. Trains always leave on certain time, and they go on a certain route, and it's quite predictable. So unless I can orientate and understand things quite well in the country, I always prefer trains, if possible, if there are trains, and if they're not double the price. But here in Egypt, trains are even cheaper than buses, so I'm very satisfied with that. We'll see how this trip goes. I'll let you know. It looks like we're about to cross the River Nile. Wow, this is cool, my friends. This is legitimately cool. Do you like it? I do. Who would think that I will one day cross the River Nile in a train? Nice. It's so beautiful. And yes, I was very successful with getting ticket to proper local train. I was kind of a little bit afraid if it wasn't a foreigner's train which she sold to me. I really got together with locals, which is nice. I like it. This probably is the version of Shrot. Do you know what is Shrot? Now you see it. These guys, when they sell something, they drop it in the lap of everybody. Of course, I definitely need these things now, very much. They're trying to sell it, and then they take it back after you have felt how good is that thing which you didn't buy.
يا فندم هو حضرتك خارج طيب
على حسب هو عايز ايه، لو عايز ايه 5 سنين ولا يجيب يصرف على 1000 سنين فده 1000.
We are moving at quite nice speed. I'm impressed with the Egyptian railways. I was expecting something similar to Albania, where everything is slow, half dead and nobody uses it. No, it's not the story here at all. It's full of people, almost no empty spaces in a train car. And it's quite fast, and the trains are quite often running. Yeah. Recommended, guys. Recommended. It's quite amazing how they irrigate all these plains. You literally have canals crisscrossing all these perfectly flat plains, and you see every now and again a water pump who is pumping big amounts of water into these smaller canals or channels, how do you call them, which in turn then irrigate all the flat plain, and then they grow stuff. It's quite amazing. In the places before, there was a small strip of land between the railway and like a river or canal or something, and it was quite amazingly similar to Chinampas in Mexico. Do you know what is Chinampas? If you don't, I can suggest you look it up on internet. It's an amazing technique how people grow stuff in hot climate with permanent irrigation naturally. So that place reminded me that. But these places are irrigated with pumps. They're pumping water here. Shukran, shukran. It looks like we are approaching Wasta. Shukran. And it's time to get out of the train. Let me see. This probably wasn't the... That's another...
يا رب لسه جابت لها البرم بتاع بقها والأميرة ما كانتش بتكلمها جابت لها علبتين زبادي ومتلالك ما كانتش بتكلمنا يا سيدي انت غيرت اسمك ولا ايه ايه يا مولا ايه يا ابو سعيد يا ابو سعيد على فكرة راكب معانا وضع عبيط خليه يبيعنا ماشي تعالى العبني في كوش
So, we are out in Wasta train station, as far as I can tell. Cool. Let's find out now where is the station itself. And in the station, train is departing already. And in the train station,
Where'd he go?
wow, I was getting too much attention here. How do you call it in English? Basically, I was standing out too much probably here. People were getting curious about who I am. They were all very welcoming and friendly, but they were surprised that I'm coming out in this small station because no foreigners come here as far as I understand, except me. And immediately a policeman came and found me on the platform once I was getting out of the train, and he was immediately telling me that pictures and filming and photographing is not allowed in train stations. So I stopped it because he was really checking me. And also he checked my passport. I was asking, is there any problem? Any mushkila? Mushkila is problem. And he said, no problem at all. Welcome to Egypt and welcome to Wasta. And where will I be going? And he kind of wanted to know, the policeman, what I will be doing and why I'm here, because nobody comes here. Why am I coming? Actually, I want something to drink and probably a little bit to eat as well. So it looks like there's a market here. Let me see on my way. But yeah, he was very friendly and he helped. He showed me where the ticket office was, and he even helped me to buy a ticket because nobody else spoke any English there except him, the policeman. And he was translating for me at the ticket office, and I was trying to use all my words which I know in Arabic, which they were extremely happy to see. That policeman was literally, how do you call it in English, like thawing, melting out of joy when he saw that I'm speaking in his language. Of course, not properly speaking, but at least a few phrases which I can say in Arabic. He was very happy. Yeah, this is Wasta. Welcome to Wasta, my friends. Cool. The only thing is that I wanted to buy a train ticket. It took me quite a long time to get here. And it is already a little bit past 2:00 p.m. And I decided already not to go to Beni Suef. How do you say it? I don't know. The bigger town, a little bit further away from Cairo, from here. I decided not to go there because it'll be too late coming back. And basically I decided to go back after maybe 2 hours time. And I wanted to buy a ticket around 4:00. but they gave me tickets at a little bit past 3 o'clock. So I have only 1 hour, slightly less even. Wow, this is a small town, extremely small, but it doesn't feel small to me. So much traffic. Okay, 10 pounds for apples. That sounds good. No, 15 pounds this is. So I got 1 kilo of bananas for 10 pounds. And 10 pounds is what, something like 59 cents? Good enough. Let's keep walking because I don't have too much time. I want to walk towards Nile and see how the countryside looks and the bridge over Nile. Let me see if I can do it. But this place is cool. And this is a proper countryside. This is not Cairo. And you see how many people are here. That's amazing. I can get squeezed between these things. I need to choose probably a different road and to go to the same direction on a different road because I won't be getting anywhere here. At least that's what it seems to me. I wouldn't mind buying some water as well. Usually I don't do it, but I finished. I'm out of water and I need to buy because I won't have any tap here. So I have come this far and I won't be going on the same route further because I know. Look what's here. There's some blue water and green banks. Let me see if I can continue there. Wow, and it's such a silence here. I haven't heard such a silence for so long time. In Cairo, it's always noise, and here on the main street was noisy as well. But this is nice. This is nice. Can you imagine we are in the middle of desert and it doesn't rain here. Like couple millimeters of rain per year. It's nothing. Amazing, amazing. But I won't be able to continue my road along the shore, so I have to go back to the street. I want to get to that bridge and see the view from there. And I still have time for that. I'll go there. I was already slightly worried that I would have to go back all the way from there, but you see, here are some steps. So I'll be able to get up the bridge here and on the bridge. Good news, friends. Good news. Look at this thing. I'm impressed. Amazing. What can they transport on such a small three-wheeled thing? Wow, will be good views from here, guys. Wow, look at this, friends. That's where we came from. And here is why we came to here. Wow. And there are two islands in the River Nile here. Jamil. Beautiful. And by the way, you see in the distance there, there are deserty mountains without a drop of water. But where the Nile flows through, everything is green. And look at that boat. Isn't that cool? I like this place. Yeah, and it's nice. They have a good path, a good sidewalk here, good size. I was thinking, will I be allowed on this motorway or whatever it is? But yeah, in this country you can walk everywhere almost, because many people do walk or ride with donkeys or whatnot. I wonder, can I get down there on that island? Is there any stairs? Or is it only by boat? There are some livestock on that island grazing. What do you think, friends? Would you like to buy or rent such an island for yourself and live there? I'm still very much impressed about that fact that Nile is flowing through the desert and making everything green. It's such an interesting combination. When you don't get any water from above, but you get more than enough water from below. It's amazing. It's amazing. And also, Nile seems to be, well, to me at least, looks even wider than it was in Cairo. And I, as a European, of course, was assuming that in Cairo, just before the delta starts, where the river splits into countless smaller rivers and flowing into sea, I thought that should be the widest point of that river, right? Would you think the same? But it's only now it occurred to me that it might not be the case with Nile, because all these hundreds of kilometers, how many, 800 or how many kilometers, which Nile flows through Egypt, and marhaba, all these kilometers the Nile flows through desert without any rain, and therefore without any tributaries. So there are no more rivers making Nile wider. There is only evaporation and irrigation, which makes it smaller. So I guess it could be somewhere in Sudan where the Nile is at its widest. Would I be correct? Do you know? Anybody of you know? I'd be interested to know if you know. And here it's going smaller and smaller until it gets to the sea. I remembered that I read about these, what was it called? I forgot. And by the way, there seems to be no stairs. I can't get down like this. Without cable is better view. I can't get down to these cows and dog. Yeah, and there's a boat. So that might be, who knows, the owner of these cows. In any case, about these rivers, I read some time ago, oh, that was dusty. Okay. I read some time ago about these rivers in southern Africa. Forgot which country, was it Botswana or Zambia? Don't remember even. But there are some rivers which start in Democratic Republic of Congo, in these rainforests with abundant amounts of rain. And then they flow south towards the desert. Kalahari Desert is it, or is it some other desert? I'm not sure. And then these rivers literally empty in the desert. There are, how do you call it? I forgot, there was a name. Dry deltas or inland deltas. Literally, river splits in delta, like it happens when it empties itself in a sea, but with the difference that this river empties itself not in the sea but in the desert. So basically it gets evaporated, it ceases to exist. All the water empties in the desert, splits itself in many smaller streams, which eventually get smaller and smaller with each kilometer until it's evaporating completely and there's nothing left of the river. It never reaches the sea. That's cool. And me as a European, for me it's something unthinkable. Even this thing, that Nile seems to be wider here than it is in Cairo, that's something which occurred to me only now. And I remembered about these dry deltas or desert deltas or inland deltas. I forgot what was the name. But in any case, it's something very interesting, very unusual for me. Have you ever thought about these things, guys? Have you heard about these things? Is it something normal and understandable for you? For me, it's difficult to wrap my head around it, how it works. I kind of understand from the hydrology point of view how it works, but it still feels unreal for me. It can't be. River gets bigger while flowing downstream because of the tributaries. There's no way around, and the biggest it is where it empties in the sea, or at the beginning of delta, if there is one. Not here, guys, not here. Ah, by the way, can you hear that sound? That's the petrol powered or diesel, I don't know, powered pump. You see? It pumps the water from Nile from there. It empties it into that box, the concrete box, and from there the water flows through the canals and irrigates all these places, all these flatlands. And by the way, we can walk there. I'll switch off the zoom for you, otherwise you'll get seasickness if you haven't got it already from me. So you see there, it's quite amazing. I like these systems. I don't know what is that so cool and interesting and satisfying in these irrigation canals or channels. You see? Isn't this cool? The whole, oops, sorry, my bananas and my cable for microphone. So you see, the whole thing is completely flat and the water is filling literally, well, pretty much every space between the rows and irrigating the whole thing. And without that pump there, the Nile water wouldn't be getting up here and this place would be a desert, like it is up there in these mountains. Ah, everything is in dust. My screen is full of dust, but I try to keep my lenses clean. So for you guys, I hope the view is good, unlike for me. Yeah. What a cool place, what a cool place. I like it. I could imagine myself one day living in a place where either like that place where the river is there or smaller canal and flat area for growing orchard and watermelons in the middle of winter and all the other stuff, and then some date palms. And ideally, if these mountains would start already there, and I could build a house in a cave in these mountains, a proper good house in a cave where it's cool in summer and warm in winter. Cool. I heard the music and I thought, you must see them. And you see, bananas are growing here. These big-leaved things, they are bananas. And that's the owner, is it? Is he? Is the other thing tapioca or something else? I don't recognize it quite. No, the leaves are like avocado leaves. Could it be avocados? I was waving to the guy who was looking up on me. I didn't notice him looking at me. Maybe you noticed. He was looking for a good while at me and thinking what this crazy man is doing there, filming my garden. And there is an old Nile boat. Wow, I like this place. I don't know. Amazing. This doesn't look like sleepy, half-dead small provincial town. It is small. It is a town where you can easily walk from one end to another. So it is not big. But whatever it lacks, it's not amount of life. They definitely don't lack any life. It's amazing. And it is not just one intersection which is busy. It's the whole town. In all its length, this street is busy like crazy, with everything happening and everything going on, as you can see. Yeah, amazing, interesting place. Cool. I wonder, are these local buses or something? These things with the seats in. Often they are full of people, and there are quite many of them here. Mostly full of people goes to north, and half empty goes to south. So I wonder, could that be buses during rush hour, or whatever is their equivalent to that same thing? Interesting. Could be. I wouldn't be too surprised that this might be a local bus. Bus number 55. Could it be? I can imagine. This is some smaller street. The bigger market end of that street has finished. It's the same street, it's just further down the road. That was noisy and full of people and action. You had to watch all the time your toes. What's going on? Here it feels very peaceful after all that. And I still I don't cease to how do you call it? be surprised how often I hear welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody is saying welcome, and people are friendly. And I haven't had too many issues with people. Oh, is that the train station already? I passed it already. Haha. Good, I noticed it. I thought it's further down there. But no, this one is the train station. That's the thing which you are not allowed to film. So let's film it now. Because no, is the entrance. No, I think that must be the entrance there. I don't recognize it from this side. I left on the other direction, other side. So, yeah. What I was saying, I don't get any troubles almost with people trying to sell me stuff. Even politely, well, it's not often they try to get something of me anyway. But even when it does happen, they're very, very polite, and it's enough to politely smile and shake my head that I'm not interested, and that's it. It's no big deal. So it's not difficult. I was thinking it will be a lot more difficult. Well, maybe in the touristy areas it would be. Like here I haven't seen any other European since the time I entered in the train in Cairo. Yeah, that must be the train station. Last look on it, guys. I won't be able now. And that's a policeman already watching me. The same guy. I won't annoy him. Let's switch off. I'll try to film very discreetly from here. I sat down in the train station. I got my bananas and my mandarins, oranges, whatever they're called. And it is a little bit difficult to understand what's going on with the trains, because nobody speaks English. At the end I was trying to speak with something like 4 or 5 men all at the same time, and they found one local professor, that one lady who is professor, and then they said she will speak English. But even she couldn't speak really English. Maybe a couple words. It was a bit better, but still we couldn't understand each other too much. But either the train is late, or the train is broken down, or something. But in any case, that train which I was expecting to catch will not be here. And here I have to wait. And they said there will be one train coming, which will not be for me. And then there will be another train coming, and that will be for me. Probably it could mean that the train which will not be for me, it's the train who doesn't stop in this small station. Could be, I don't know. I have no explanation otherwise. And then some other train will come. But when it will be, how long time will it take, nobody could really tell me, and I couldn't get more information. So, the only thing I can say is it is very good that I have time. I don't have any plans after that, so whatever time I will arrive in Cairo, I will arrive. And that must be okay. And it will be okay. The only thing is I will probably arrive when it will be already dark in Cairo. But that's okay. It didn't feel unsafe in any way, so I think that should be alright. In general, in strange places I kind of avoid walking around after dark when it's dark. But it felt like this should be okay. Cairo should be fine. At least that part of Cairo where I should be walking through. So, let me have my meal. So, I'm waiting for the next train, and every local official, like police and other officials, seem to be informed about one Westerner who came here, I mean myself, and they are all checking on me if everything is alright. Then a policeman came to tell that the train which will be coming in a moment will be not for me. I need to wait for the next train. And they're kind and they're nice, but it's interesting how well informed and organized they are about one Westerner who entered this place. And they are all asking the same question: why am I here? There's nothing interesting here. It's a bad place, a poor place. Why do you want to come here? And I just told that it's true, that I want to see real Egypt. I want to see something away from touristy places, away from all the popular and expensive places. Some real Egypt, real countryside, how it looks like. And yeah, they kind of understand it, but they still kind of find it hard to believe. But yeah, they always remind me that it's not allowed to film or take pictures in the station and the trains. So yes, guys, don't tell about this thing anybody. It's not allowed. You understand it. That's why I'm talking very silently and keeping my phone on my lap so that it doesn't attract any attention and I don't see myself what I'm filming. I hope I'm kind of pointing in the right direction, and at the same time I'm looking who is watching me and what could happen. But I wanted to show you the train station. It's nice and it is worth showing to the world, I think. This is rural Egypt in everyday situation. Quite nice. This one looks like more local train. Could it be that it's the one which goes inside the desert to one oasis? I forgot the name of it, but away from River Nile and its valley. I know that there is some train which goes there, and it looks like old small local train. So it probably might be that, and I know that the junction is from here. That's where they depart from. So could be. Only thing is, I don't see myself what I am showing to you. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction, because I don't dare to show anybody that I'm filming, because the police warned me many times that I'm not allowed to film. So guys, that's the picture quality what you get. I wonder, could this be ours? I have coach number 9. Afwan, Kahira. So that one was number 3. I will have to run a little bit. So that was opposite, like 3, it looks like, so it would be 4, 5, 6.
والله ما كنت اسافر في الشتاء اصلا.
So we have arrived in Cairo, Ramses station, and it's time to get out and try not to make it too visible that I'm filming. And yeah, I'll tell you later what happened. It was funny and interesting and good. But I'll get out of the station first.
لا مؤمن على نفسك يا والله يا استاذ بيطلعوا ارفع يلا
And you notice, you recognize this hall probably, do you? That's the beautiful hall of Ramses railway station in Cairo. I switched off my camera just before I passed the security check or control, or just a policeman standing there, because I noticed that there were 2 people and pointing at me, and I thought maybe they spotted that I'm filming, and I quickly switched it off, so just in case if they ask I can show that I'm not filming. But it turned out that the guy who was pointing at me, he was just a taxi driver who thought that I'll be definitely a good person to offer the taxi ride to. But yeah, while I'm here at the station, I'll do one more thing. You see, I wrote a small note on my other side of my ticket. I think to buy ticket to Alexandria, how do you pronounce it? Let's see where the line is shorter. And I assume that probably it will be difficult with English, so I have to be ready. So I want to show the date when I'm traveling and approximate time. And I wrote in English as well where I want to go, but that doesn't matter because I can pronounce Alexandria or Iskandria is Alexandria in Arabic. So I can just say it, but the difficulty is to say the date and the time. And I need to check my phone. I forgot how to say cheapest ticket. So it wasn't that simple this time. I stood in the queue outside. Then the man directed me inside here. Then I stood in one place. Actually, I asked an employee who was there. He told me to queue in one place. I did it. Then that person got scared of my English because he didn't speak a word, so he redirected me to his colleague. That colleague told me that I have to queue in a different queue. Then I stood there, and then I got a ticket finally, but it was a bit difficult, and I have some slight suspicion that he sold me a ticket. I expected it to be cheaper. It is 5-hour train ride, but I don't think it should cost €5.60 or something cents, which he charged me. So I have a slight suspicion that he might have sold me a ticket to a foreigner train, not a train for locals. I asked second class, the cheapest possible, but yeah, we'll see when we get there. Maybe that's the price, but I was kind of expecting it cheaper. And by the way, when
Welcome to Egypt.
شكرا شكرا
شكرا شكرا.
شكرا. Welcome to Egypt. So yeah, my ticket, by the way, today's ticket, one way cost me €1.16 for 2-hour drive. €1.16. Not bad. What do you think? And by the way, coincidentally, €1.16 is the price which I have paid for my 2 meals. Well, all the food which I have eaten today, and some of it I still have here, so I haven't finished everything yet. Also €1.16 for the whole day, but I'll buy something more now, I think. Well, I can tell you what happened. First thing, you have to be quick and vigilant when you enter the train. While I was figuring out which coach is mine, and I still didn't get far enough to reach my coach, when train already was starting to move. I think you saw it probably, but I'm not sure if you saw that the train has started moving already. But in any case, yeah, I was jumping into a train which already was moving, and I was still some 3 or 4 coaches from the coach which I needed. But it worked. I jumped in and I walked through the train to the coach which I had to be taking. So all good there. I think this was the place. There was a nice place where I got good falafel this morning, and I thought if I'll pass it, I'll get something more from them because it was really good. And I think it was somewhere here, but I forgot where was it exactly. Let's see. So yeah, the other thing, it's amazing how friendly our locals, and especially when they are so surprised that I am a foreigner and taking this local train, the cheapest second class, and from such a small village where no foreigners are coming and so on. So they really, and when they hear I speak a couple words in Arabic, they become extremely happy. And I learn more words in Arabic. No, this wasn't the right place, sorry. I forgot suddenly where was it, but it's okay. If I don't find it, I'll find another place. And at one point in the train, people came around me. There were approximately 12 men gathering around me, and everybody was interested. Which country am I from? And of course, nobody have heard about such thing as Latvia. Nobody. And of all these 12 men, 2 spoke few words in English, and I spoke few words in Arabic. And we were discussing all kinds of things, most of which we didn't understand each other in, but we got quite a lot. We understood quite a lot from each other, and we were discussing all kinds of things, and funny things and serious things. There was one man who was very determined that he wants to go to Latvia with me to work, to find a job. and that was kind of funny and serious at the same time. And here will be the place. I think I recognize it. Yeah. This is the place. Do you recognize it? Only thing they have finished cooking, I think, but probably they should have something. Let's see. Yeah, I'll finish quickly what I was telling you before I forget, and then I'll get my food. But yeah, there was a discussion. Like 12 men were sitting around me, gathering in a crowd around me, and everybody was so interested and happy to speak with a real foreigner. And then everybody who spoke a few words in English, they tried to use these words, and they were immensely proud of being able to speak a few sentences in English with a real foreigner, proper foreigner. It was so nice, so cute. There were some youngsters, some adult men, and a good group of them. And then another man came who has been abroad before, and he spoke quite well English, very good English, I would say. And he was of course boasting and showing to everybody how good he can pronounce his English words. It was cute, it was nice. So yeah, it was a good conversation, a nice one. So I got my falafel, you see, very nice one, and it cost me 20 cents. So this brings my today's food budget to how much? €1.36. And I'll probably will leave something for tomorrow out of this, so let's say a little bit more than €1, or €1 was my today's food. And I didn't try to make it so low. It just doesn't cost much. So, what do you think, friends, about my trip to, forgot already the name, Wasta was the name. What do you think about my trip to Wasta today? Did you enjoy it? I certainly did. I find that traveling with locals in the cheapest possible class, with proper local transportation, and going to some smaller villages where no tourists go, it usually is very interesting. I kind of got scared, but I probably should have been walking like everybody else does. I'm still a little bit not as professional as you see. No, I got quite well. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I do enjoy these kind of trips to more rural, out of the way places. And I would have liked to stay longer there, but it was okay. It was long enough, but a couple hours more would be nicer. I would have more time to chat with locals and so on. It was a cool place. So this was my today's adventure, and now it's just a matter of walking to my hostel, which is something like 20-25 minutes or so walk. Maybe half an hour now. I don't think half an hour even. So I think that will be it for today. And yeah, if you watched it this far, I can probably safely say that I'm happy that you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed being here and making this trip. All the best, my friends. See you in some other place, in some other time. We'll see when and how.